Hello, everybody. I'm Megan Powell from the Essex Bridge Center, and today's lesson is a discussion on one no Trump openings with natural responding bids. So let's get started. I will share my screen with you. We're going to have a narrow conversation about one no Trump openings because we're going to narrow what responder does to a very basic set of things. Over time, we will add to responders' choices, but we're going to lay the foundation now. One no Trump is the opening bid made as the second choice on the priority list by openers. We have already learned that when you are the dealer and you hold 12 to 20 high card points, you will open something. The first choice is 12 to 20 high card points with a 5 card or longer major. You open one heart or one spade. But what if you didn't have that? You would then move down the priority list to your second choice. And that second choice is looking for 15, 16, or 17 high card points and a balanced hand. If you have that, you would then open one no Trump, which is where we're going to spend our time today. But just to round out our conversation, if you did not have a 5 card major and you did not meet the requirements to open one no Trump, the third item on the priority list is your default. It's what you will open with 12 to 20 points when you cannot meet the first 2 items. You would open a minor suit with as few as 3 cards in that minor suit when you hold 12 to 20 points. So we're going to move our conversation to just the opening of one no Trump and its responses. So you are the dealer. You have 15, 16, or 17 high card points. You do not have a 5 card major, right? But you also have to pay attention to these numbers. You do not have 14 points. You do not have 18 points. You have 15, 16, or 17 high card points. An opening of one no Trump is that specific, okay? You also need a balanced hand. Now, that means you do not have a 5 card major. We've already said if you had 15, 16, or 17 points, you would open one heart or one spade if you held 5 cards in one of those major suits. You also, when you open one no Trump, do not have any voids or don't have any singletons. That means you're not missing any suits. That would give you a void. You don't have any suits that have 1 and only 1 card in it. That would be a singleton. You could have a suit that has a doubleton in it, 2 cards in a suit. But if you have one, you have only 1 suit like that, and it's not even required. You don't have to have any doubletons, all right? You have one of 3 balanced shapes. You are either 4 cards, 3 cards, 3 cards, 3 cards. That's as balanced, as flat as you can be with 13 cards, and it does not matter which suit holds the 4 cards. You could have the second choice of shapes, a 4 card suit, a 4 card suit, a 3 card suit, and a 2 card suit. See, there you're allowed to have 1 doubleton in your hand. Now, the third balanced shape in bridge is the one everybody forgets about. It's the one they always miss. It is a 5 card minor suit, and then 3 cards, 3 cards, and 2 cards. This is an acceptable one no Trump opening with 15, 16, 17 points, and this shape, 5 cards in clubs or diamonds, and then 3, 3, 2. You would open this one no Trump. So now let's talk about responder, since opener's pretty narrow, right? Responder. When your partner makes a one no Trump opener, you are going to learn a variety of different responding bids, but we are talking today about responding naturally. And what that means is that you are either responding in another level of no Trump or you are passing. So we're going to lay the foundation here with just natural responses. Partner opens one no, and you are the responder. Your partner is showing 15, 16, or 17 points. Now, the first thing responder that should be popping into your head is that the game level for no Trump is 3 no Trump. okay? That game level requires the partnership to have 25 points together. And your opening partner is already showing you 15, 16, or 17 high card points, right? Now, you are not forced, responder, to make any kind of bid after your partner's one no trump opening. You're not forced to bid at all, but you do have to consider what your options are. Your opener is showing you a very, very specific, very tight point range. You are not required to bid with 6 high card points. The way that you are if partner opened a one level suit, right? If partner opens 1 heart, 1 diamond, 1 club, 1 spade, and you're the responder, we've taught you, you need 6 high card points to make a response. And if you have those 6 high card points, you absolutely should respond. But that's not true with one no trump openings. You need to divorce one no trump from one level suit openings. They are different animals and they require different care. So if your partner did open 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade, then with 6 points in your responding hand, you would bid something. However, that is not true if your partner opens 1 no trump. You only respond to your partner's 1 no trump under certain conditions. When we talk about natural responding, it is solely based on responders' high card points. And that is true now that the ranges for responder are different after a 1 no trump opening. And that's really confusing, right? We've taught you these ranges for suit openings, right? We've said, gee, if your partner across the table opens 1 heart and you have a suit fit, you have 3 heart cards to go with your partner's 5 heart cards. Then you would add your distribution and you would raise your partner's heart opening to the 2 level or the 3 level or the 4 level based on these responder ranges on your screen. However, no trump is not a suit opening. 1 no trump, it does not follow the same rules as suit openings and responses. When your partner opens, let's say 1 heart, your partner is opening with 12 or more high card points. That means responder needs to provide more help, more points, opposite opener's 12 points in order for the whole partnership to get to 25 points. But the 1 no trump opening partner is already starting at 15 points, right? 15, 16, 17. And that means that responder does not need 13 points to get to 25 points. Responder doesn't need as many points. Responder needs only 10 points opposite in 1 no trump opening hand. If your partner opens with 15, 16, or 17 opening points, you responder only need 10 points to know you have 25. So therefore, responders' point ranges, I'm so sorry, are going to be different after opener starts with 1 no trump. Now, again, we're not going to talk about any other kind of responses that you might consider. Down the road, we're going to talk about, should we go back and find a major suit together? You know how much we love major suits. But we're going to discuss that possibility a little further down the road. We want to get the fundamentals right first, okay? So we're talking about no trump exclusively. If I open 1 no trump, you responder need to remember the game level is 3 no trump. Well, wait a minute, you're saying to yourself, why isn't it 4 no trump? Why isn't it the 4 level, just like the major suits? Well, here's how we put it. We're not going to be using a trump suit on our side if we play in some level of no trump, right? The name itself says we are not going to use a trump suit. Therefore, we have to just make it a smidge easier to make a game contract. If you don't have a trump suit to, at the end of the hand, come in and win a last trick with a trump card, then there has to be a slightly easier way of making games. So what we do is we give the partnership a break on the number of tricks that are needed for a game in no trump. We drop it down 1 level. So it's true that heart games and spade games are at the 4 level, 4 hearts and 4 spades, but the game level no trump drops a level. It's only 3 no trump. 4 no trump does not mean it's game level. All right, it's not game level in no trump. All right, you and I are partners. I open 1 no trump. You are my responder. what if you do not have those 10 high card points to go with my 15 to 17 high card points? What if you don't have an immediate knowledge that we have game? Well, it will depend on how many points you do actually have, responder. If you have 10 high card points, great. We do have 25 points, but what if you have almost 10 points? What if you're just short of 10 high card points to go with my 15 to 17? What if you have almost enough to take me to 25? Well, if you have 8 or 9, notice these are different range numbers for responder than they were for if your partner opened a suit. The invitational range for a responder opposite partner's no trump opening is 8 or 9. Think of it this way. If I have 15 points and you have 8 or 9 points, we are closing in on 25. If I have 17 points and you have 8 or 9 points, we absolutely have 25, right? So 8 or 9 is the almost, it's the bubble, if you will, for the responder. And therefore, if I open one no trump and you have 8 or 9 high card points, responder, you are going to invite me because you have almost game going responding points. The invitational level in no trump is 1 level below game. If game is 3 no trump, then the invitational level is 2 no trump, right? Okay, it is almost game. It's 1 level below the 3 no trump game level. So with 8 or 9 points, you would invite me in 2 no trump. Okay, now let's break down that 8 or 9 points just a little further, because it's good to have the logic behind this. I hold 15, 16, or 17 high card points when I open one no trump, but you, partner, as a responder, do not know whether I have 15, 16, or 17. You aren't sure which of those 3-point counts I have, right? Think of it this way. If I have 17 high card points in that range, then your 8 or 9 almost, that either one of those will get us to 25, right? 17 plus 8 is 25. 17 plus 9 is 26. So if I have 17 points and you have 8 or 9, we absolutely will find 25. But you don't know if I have 15, 16, or 17 high card points when I open one no. Therefore, when you hold 8 or 9 responding points, you have to invite me and let me decide based on my opening points. You've got to put it out there. What if I open one no trump and I have 16 high card points? Well, if you, responder, hold 8 or 9, 16 plus 8, that's 24. That is not 25. It's not game. But 16 plus 9, that is 25. So again, you're on the bubble, responder. You've got to invite me and let me, the opener, decide what to do next. And I'll decide based on my high card points. If I'm holding 15 high card points, well, yes, you have 8 or 9 points, but neither one of those numbers is going to take my 15 to 25. The problem is you, responder, don't know. Am I 15 points, 16 points, or 17 points? Therefore, when you hold 8 or 9 high card points, responder, after I've opened one no, you should invite me, and then by bidding 2 no trump. And then I, the opener, will decide what to do next. Okay, so here are your ranges. These are the ranges when your partner opens one no trump. 10 or more high card points, you know we have 25. Go right to game. 3 no trump, responder, go right there. If you have 8 or 9 high card points, then invite me to game by bidding 2 no trump. And if you have 0 to 7 high card points, responder, you should pass. You do not have enough strength to help my one no trump opening hand. Now notice I keep saying the phrase high card points. You do not add any distribution. You only add distribution points when you know for sure that there's some kind of 8 card fit. Well, we're not talking about suits at all. Therefore, there will not be a known 8 card fit. We did not go exploring. We're staying in no trump. So responder, you are bidding either some level of no trump or you're passing. There is no search for a suit here, and there's no distribution. Okay. So 10 or more points, opposite my 15 to 17, we've got 25, bid the game in 3 now. 8 or 9 points responder, opposite my 15 to 17, bid 2 no trump as your first response, inviting me, the opener, to continue. And if you have 0 to 7 points responder, just pass. You cannot help me, all right? Now, what will the 1 no trump opener do next? Well, if I've opened 1 no and you responder have jumped to 3 no trump, the game, we're done, right? We're done. We're done. Because we're already at game level. If I have opened 1 no trump and you pass responder, we're still done. Because here's how the auction would have gone. I would have opened 1 no trump. The person to my left passes. The opponents are passing. I'll come back to that in a couple minutes. The opponents are passing. If you pass responder, that's 2 passes now. And then the other opponent is going to pass. That'll be 3 passes. The opener never gets another chance to bid. 3 passes in a row ends the auction. So if I open 1 no and you pass, that will be 1 of 3 passes in a row. We're done. I'll play in 1 no trump. But now this is where the nitty gritty comes in for the opener. What if I've opened 1 no trump and you responder, your first bid is 2 no trump, showing me your 8 or 9 high card points. What should the opener do next? Should the opener continue to go to 3 no trump, or should opener pass your 2 no trump invitation? Well, for me, the opener, my rebid is going to be based strictly on my high card points most of the time. For instance, if in my 15 to 17, I'm holding 17 points, 1 no by me, you have responded 2 no trump with your 8 or 9 points inviting me, and I have 17 high card points, the upper end of the 15, I absolutely accept the invitation and I go to 3 no. Because if I'm holding 17 points and you've just promised me 8 or 9, I know we have 25. So 1 no by me, 2 no by you, and I'm holding 17 opening points, 3 no trump by me. I'm going to game. Easy peasy. So far, so good? What if, though, I have 15 high card points when I open 1 no trump? I'm at the bottom of the 15 to 17 range. Well, I open 1 no trump with my 15 high card points. You respond 2 no trump and show me 8 or 9 high card points. And I know that. And the auction comes back to me. Now, remember, there's no distribution or anything. I have 15 bare 1 no trump opening points. And I know you have 8 or 9. I can do the math. I'm so sorry. I keep saying that word, math. But if I take my 15 high card points and add them to either 8 or 9, neither one of those numbers gets me to 25 points. 15 plus 8, 15 plus 9, neither one of those is 25. So in that case, if the opener's holding 15 high card points, the opener should pass. Okay? And we'll play in 2 no. But what if the opener's in the middle of 15 to 17? What if the opener has 16 high card points? Well, it's going to be a judgment call for the opener. This is the one that's not quite cut and dry. You have to ask yourself, how much do you like your 16 points? Well, what do I mean by that? When you look at your hand, do you have a whole lot of 10s and 9s and even 8s? That's great. Those are good cards to have. If you have lots of 10s and 9s and 8s, then yes, consider yourself a good 16 and go to 3 no trump. What if you have all the 2s and all the 3s and all the 4s in your hand? That's not so good. Those cards don't win tricks. You know, once you play your aces, your kings, your queens, the next cards that would start to win tricks are the 10s, the 9s, the 8s, not the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s. So if you have a lot of low spot cards in your hand, 2s, 3s, 4s, I would not consider that a good 16 high card points opener. And in that case, the auction would go 1 no by me, 2 no by you, inviting me, And with my 16 points full of 2s, 3s, and 4s in the suits, I probably would pass you and play in 2-no. Did I start with a 5 card minor? Remember, I have 3 shapes to open 1-no trump. And the one everybody forgets about is a 5 card minor, then 3, 3, 2. If I have a 5 card minor and 16 points, and you invite me by bidding 2-no, I tend to go to 3-no trump. Why? Because it's a longish suit, that minor suit, and long suits win tricks. Eventually, nobody will have cards in that suit. And even a baby card could win a trick somewhere around trick number 10, 11, 12. Long suits win tricks. So if I started with a 5 card minor suit with my 16 points, I'm kind of inclined to go to 3-no trump. But you're going to have to decide for yourself. It's going to be trial and error. You will have to decide whether to continue to 3-no trump if you're holding 16 high card points opener, okay? All right, so let's walk through a couple of examples. These are not examples from your textbook. You have example hands in your textbook. You're working on those on your own. Let's work through a couple of examples that are not in your textbook. That way, you have to work with me. You have to think on the spot with me. Let's see how we do together. Ready? Here we go. This is our first example, again, not in your book. I'm telling you that South is the dealer. And I want you to take a second and count South's high card points. Go ahead and look at the screen and do that, please. How many high card points did you get for South? Did you get 17? I did. Okay. So you've got 12 to 20 high card points. You do not have, South, a 5 card major suit, do you? All right. So you're not going to open 1 heart or 1 spade. But you do, then moving down the priority list, start looking for the requirements to open 1-no trump. So let's see what you have. You need 15, 16, or 17 high card points specifically. And look at that. You have 17 high card points. That you also have to have a balanced hand, South. You do not supposed to have a 5 card major, and we already know you don't have that. You should not have any voids or any singletons. Well, that's true. You meet that requirement. You can have a doubleton, but only 1 in the entire hand. You don't have to have any doubletons, but if you do, only 1 suit can have a doubleton. And I see a doubleton in the club suit, South, but only 1 doubleton. Fantastic. We ticked all the boxes. In fact, you have a 4-4-3-2 opening shape, South, and that's one of the approved shapes to open 1-no trump. So with your 15 to 17 points and your balanced hand, South's opening bid should be 1-no trump. Now, the opponents here, in this case, West and East. Folks, you folks are passing. Number 1, we haven't yet taught the opponents how to bid in the auction. They will have their own set of rules because of course they will. But we haven't covered those yet. And number 2, when South opens 1-no trump, if West, as the opponent, wanted to bid in this auction, West would basically have to have the same level of strength that South's 1-no trump opening hand does. And it's not that common that the opponents will have that level of strength. And in our classes, I will make darn sure that West and East will not have that level of strength until I teach you how to bid after a 1-no trump opener as the opponents, okay? So the opponents are passing. Here we go. Let's move on to North now. North is South's responder. I would like you to look at my screen and I want you to count North's high card points. Go ahead and do that right now. How many points did you get? Did you get 7? I got 7. Okay. Responder, your partner is telling you she has 15 to 17 high card points when she opens 1-no trump. If you, North responder, would like to go to 3-no trump, you would have to have 10 or more high card points in your hand. Do you have that? Nope, you don't have that. Okay. All right. So what's the next thing you could think about, responder? You could think about inviting in 2-no trump. right? Your partner in South opened with 15 to 17 points. And for you, North, to invite into Notrump, you would need the 8 or 9 invitational high card points as a responder to now make a first response into Notrump, inviting South to game. Do you have 8 or 9 high card points? Remember, there is no distribution in Notrump bidding. Well, no, you don't have that either. You have 7 high card points. That's just not enough for game, and it's not enough for an invitation at 2 Notrump. Well, with 0 to 7 high card points, North, your responding hand should pass. You cannot help opener any further. You can't. What's going to happen next? East is going to pass. And this contract ends right here, 3 passes in a row. South is going to play this contract in 1 no trump. Okay, natural responding. Let's go look at example 2 in our screen. It's not in your packet, it's on my screen. And that means that you have to count South's high card points. South is our dealer. So let me give you a second to do that. Did you get 16 points? I did. Okay. So South, you look at your hand and you say, well, I don't have a 5-card major with my 12 to 20 points, so I'm not opening 1 heart or 1 spade. But I do have 15, 16, or 17 high card points, and I absolutely have a balanced hand. I have a 4, 3, 3, 3 opening shape. So with a balanced hand and 15 to 17 specific high card points, South should open 1 no trump. And we already know that our opponents are passing. West passes. And we come to North's responding hand. North, how many points do you hold in your responding hand on my screen? I'll give you a second or two to count it. Did you get 13? I got 13. Okay. So North, you say to yourself, my partner in South is holding 15, 16, or 17 high card points. I, the responder, would have to have at least 10 to know we have 25 points together. Well, look at that. North, you have 13. Remember, there's no distribution. North, your 13 high card points, opposite South's 15, 16, or 17 high card points. Well, that definitely makes 25 or more points, right? And you know that right now, responder, your first bid should be game in no trump. 3 no trump. Right away. East is going to pass as the opponent, and the auction does come back to South, the opener. South, what are you going to do? Well, we're already at game. There is nothing more you want to say. Pass. And then West will pass. That's 3 passes in a row. South will become the declarer in 3 no trump. So far, so good? Let's go look at another hand. This is example 3, only on my screen, not in your book. I would like you to count South's high card points as dealer. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. Did you get 17 points? I got 17 points. Okay. So South, you don't have a 5-card major. So even though you have 12 to 20 points without a 5-card major, you're not going to open 1 heart or 1 spade. You do have a 5-card minor, but that's not what you open, right? You look for a 5-card major first. That's your first priority. And then you move down the priority list to the next thing on the priority opening list. You look to see if you can open 1 no trump. Now, you have 15, 16, 17 high card points, South, and you do have a balanced hand. This is the one everybody forgets about. A 5-card minor, and then 3 cards, 3 cards, 2 cards. You are allowed to have a doubleton, but only 1 in the entire hand. This is a no trump opening hand. People always forget this. They will look at this hand and open it 1 diamond. No, you want to show your partner this power. You have 17 high card points. You have essentially a balanced hand, and we don't like minor suits, right? That's how we feel about minor suits. So it's not that you don't really want to show the minor suit. You want to show strength to your opening, to your partner. So you should open one no trump with 15 to 17 high card points and a balanced hand that includes a 5-card minor and then 3 cards, 2 cards. So South should open one no trump. West, the opponent will pass, and we come to North's responding hand. And North, count your high card points. Did you get 9? I got 9. Okay. So now North, you've got to think about how you're going to respond to your partner's one no trump opening. You know that if South has 15, 16, or 17, you, North, would need 10 to get to 25 points, right? Do you have 10 high card points? No, you don't have 10 high card points. Remember, there's no distribution, right? Okay, North, let's think this a little further. Do you have 8 or 9 invitational high card points? Well, yes, you have 9 high card points. You have almost 10 points for South, almost game in your hand. So you should bid almost game. That's this. When we say almost game, we're saying the word invitational, and the word invitational always means one level below the game level. 3 no trump is the game level. So you should invite by bidding 2 no trump, responder. That tells the opener that you have 8 or 9 invitational high card points, and you are inviting South to continue to 3 no trump if South wants to. East is going to pass as the opponent, and we come back to South's opening hand. Now, South, you've got to decide whether you're going to pass or whether you're going to continue. And we said a little earlier that it'll be based on your high card points. If you had 15 bare high card points, you would pass. Okay? You're basing this on your high card points. With 15 high card points, you're absolutely going to pass. If you had 16 high card points, you would have to decide. But with 17 high card points, the top of your 15 to 17 range, you know, South, that your 17 high card points, no matter whether North's invitational points are 8 or 9, you know that your 17 points will let them equal 25. So you know there's a 25-point partnership point count between you. You should go to game. 3 no trump. And South, that's where you're going to play this contract in 3 no trump. Everybody else will pass. So far, so good? Let's go look at our last example on my screen. South is the dealer. South, let's count your high card points. Did you get 17? I got 17. Good. All right. Now, South, first thing you look for is a 5-card major, right? But with your 12 to 20 points, you do not have a 5-card major. So you are not opening 1 heart or 1 spade. So you move down the priority list to the next thing, which is to see if you can open 1 no trump. You look for 15, 16, or 17 high card points, and you have 17. You have a balanced hand, don't you? You have 4 cards, 3 cards, 2 cards. You're allowed a doubleton. So far, so good? You should open 1 no trump. And we know West is going to pass. And now we come to North's hand. Responder, remember that when we talk about natural responding, which is all we've learned so far opposite no trump, you are either passing or you are inviting to game by responding to no trump, or you are bidding game right away by bidding 3 no trump. You are not interested in playing in a minor suit once your partner has opened 1 no trump. How do we feel about minor suits? Puh, right? Minor suits score badly. They don't score well. So I know you're looking at that very, very long diamond suit, but we're going to play in no trump. You need to ignore that minor suit. I know you want to talk about that minor suit, but we're going to ignore it. So I'm going to tell you that North has 8 high card points. I counted them for you. North, you are an invitational responding hand. 8 or 9 high card points opposite partner's 1 no trump opener. You need to stop looking at that diamond suit and think only about no trump. I'll put it in context this way. If you play a no trump, and no trump is highest card of the suit led wins, and you're holding all these diamonds between the two hands, even if you don't have the ace, even if you don't have the queen, won't the opponents run out of diamonds rather early on this hand? Isn't it possible that your long diamonds in North are going to win tricks after about 2 rounds of diamonds? Even if you don't win those 2 rounds, that 2, that 3, that 5, that 6 are probably winners just based on the fact that nobody will have diamonds left. You just have to get over there through your ace of clubs later and take those diamond tricks. So a long diamond suit is actually helpful in no trump. So North, you're not looking to bid those diamonds. You are continuing to think about bidding in no trump. Now you have an invitational 8 or 9 high card points, so you should invite into no trump. East is going to pass and we come back to South. Now South, you're going to look at your point count and decide should you go to 3 no trump or not. Since you have 17 high card points, the upper end of the 15 to 17, I would go. Your partner's promising you 8 or 9. If you add them together, you get 25. So South, let's go to 3 no trump. And that's where we'll play this hand. So we're talking in a very narrow area this week. We're really kind of narrowing our focus to no trump. And we're only talking about the basics, the fundamentals. We absolutely will expand on this concept a little further down the road. But we start here. Your partner, let's say it's you. You have opened 1 no trump, and it's because you hold 15, 16, 17 high card points, and you did not meet the requirements to open 1 heart or 1 spade. You have a balanced hand, no 5 card major. You have no voids in your hand, no singletons, and you might have a doubleton, but only 1 suit that is a doubleton. You don't have to have any, but if you do have a doubleton, only 1 suit can be a doubleton. You have one of these 3 balanced shapes to open 1 no trump. And everybody forgets about the 5 card minor 332. So you're going to have to find a place in the front of your brain for that one. All right. So you open 1 no trump when you cannot open a 5 card major, but you do meet this very specific point requirement, 15 to 17, and you do meet the shape requirement of a balanced hand. Now, what will your responder do? Well, if we're talking about natural responses, it means responder will either pass or will bid in some level of no trump. With 10 or more high card points in responder's hand, responder will know that there are 25 points between the partners. Because the opener has 15 to 17 and responder has 10, that's 25. If responder has 8 or 9, almost 10 points, almost enough for game, then responder will bid almost game in no trump, the 1 level below. Responder will invite into no trump, asking opener, does he or she want to continue on? And if responder has 0 to 7 high card points, responder, you're going to pass. You cannot help your opening partner, okay? What if responder bids 2 no trump, right? Because if responder bids 3 no trump, we're done. We're at game. If responder passes, we're done. There are going to be 3 passes in a row. It's the thinking point is whether or not responder bids 2 no trump the invitation. What will opener do next? Well, if opener's holding only 15 high card points, opener's going to pass the 2 no trump invitation because opener's 15 points and responder's 8 or 9 points can never equal 25. If opener's holding 17 points, opposite responder's 8 or 9, well, when you add those together, either 8 or 9 plus 17 will always equal 25, and opener will continue to 3 no trump. If opener's holding 16 points, well, you're going to have to decide because 16 plus 9 will equal 25, but 16 plus 8 will not. So you will just have to decide whether you want to go to 3 no trump or not, and that will be trial and error for you. All right. So we've tried to narrow our focus this week to just no trump and fundamental natural responses for no trump. We will add more to this later. So now your job is to go back into the textbook, into this lesson, and work on all those. I have 8 exercises for you to do there. Work on those. Look at the answers I've given you. If they confuse you, if you're not sure, you know you're going to send me an email and we're going to work through it together, all right? Okay, I will see you in class. Take care.